Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show. Hi, Tep.
Hello, Ashley Pickle. Happy Friday. It's Friday. What if we just turn this into like an annoying drive time morning radio show? Be like, hey!
Yeah, you're listening to Tep and Pickle.
We're doing wacky bits on Tep and Pickle!
On the internet.
It's Fantastic Fan Friday.
Brought to you by North Texas Honda Dealers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Yes. No, I met a friend this morning for coffee, and I got an espresso. You familiar with espresso?
Yeah, it's like a punch in the caffeine gut.
Yeah, it is, because I'm a lot more interested in functionality than I am in sipping some sort of cool coffee right now. I just need something to jolt me awake.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got an espresso, and I never get an espresso, but it was just like, okay, this is desperate times, desperate measures. I like espresso.
Mm-hmm. It's got a different taste.
It definitely has a different taste. It definitely
it's
a punch to your mouth.
I mean, I guess.
But
Go ahead.
All I was going to say is, hate the little cup though.
Yeah.
The little cup makes me feel like a giant, and I'm just like, what do I do with this? I don't even do it. Like, there's obviously a handle that's meant to be held, but okay.
You have to do it with your fingers.
So it's like this is a coffee mug. It's Queens Park Rangers coffee mug. Go Ours. Holding it like this just feels normal, right? Mm-hmm. I could even hold it like this, and I'd feel okay. I do this a fair amount.
I do that more often than not. Obviously, it can't be too hot.
But the thing is, with the espresso, it's like part of me wants to hold it like a shot glass. Mm-hmm. But that also feels very oh, look at this heathen, this sociopath holding it like a shot glass when you should be holding it by the handles like this.
Well, that's what I was gonna say earlier. I mean, it reminds me a lot of taking a shot, because I mean, obviously most of the time they call it an espresso shot, but it's not necessarily enjoyable to drink.
No.
You do it for a certain purpose, and it's it's bitter. It makes you sometimes go afterwards. It really is like a shot.
Well, and there's I just got a regular espresso, and then you can put sugar and stuff like that. There are people who will swear by the Cuban espresso and the Cuban coffee of now that's sweetened in a particular way that makes it really enjoyable, and is also just liquid rocket fuel. 'Cause last night I went to the Bucks. I went to the Bucks last night to get a Ishmael told me about their nitro cold brew. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, let me tell you, that's speed.
Yeah,
it's actual speed.
You said you were gonna live forever.
Oh,
I read the Slack.
Oh my gosh, I felt like my heart was gonna explode.
Yeah, no. See, I like just my normal hot coffee where I can sip it and enjoy it and enjoy the process, and then slowly gain a little bit more energy. I don't think I'm here for this pound the pavement crap.
There have been times because you can get I drink just black coffee. Mm-hmm. You can get black coffee, then you can get a red eye. Are you familiar with what a red eye is?
No.
A red eye is you get a cup of coffee and they put an extra shot of espresso in it.
Okay.
Okay, so it mixes in. You can taste a little bit stronger, but it's, stuff like that. And then there's a black eye, which is 2 espresso shots.
I mean, I've had one of those before, but
right,
not
that's
coffee form.
That is, I had that once, and it was one of those things that I felt like I can lift anything.
No, I guess maybe that's my thing too. Is I'm a person that just naturally has kind of an overwhelming sense of energy most of the time, especially in the mornings. I'm a big morning person. So I feel like if I was to get espresso at any point in time, I'd bouncing off. I can't do it. I'm already good morning,
yeah, you are.
I'm big morning person.
Yeah, this is my peak caffeine consumption time of year.
I was going to say, maybe
3 weeks from sending the press.
Yeah, maybe in that final week of magazine season where we're just reading for hours on end, it might get to that point. but
there was I remember
I have too much energy.
when I was in I don't know if I should tell him myself, but I will.
Do it.
When I was in college, and I don't know if I don't think this is particularly strange, but there was I would if I had a test, a buddy of mine who had ADHD would loan me some Adderall to study and stuff like that.
Your local druggie, Greg Tepper.
My buddy's prescription, and he would loan it to me. And let me tell you, this stuff works. I was like,
yeah, no,
You've never done that?
No, I've never taken Adderall ever before.
I did it twice in college, and both times I was like, oh, I get it.
I get
like I was just like, I'm gonna be super productive right now.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like,
sometimes I feel like during magazine season I should be like, oh man, like let's just get laser focused.
Yeah, know anybody with ADHD?
Yeah, really. Yeah, it was. I don't know. For some reason, the espresso made me think about that, and especially that coffee last night. I was like, whoa, okay, all right, let's run through a wall.
Did you get more magazine production done last night?
I wrote the Texas Southern preview, and I wrote the 1A preview last night. So
all right,
there you go. So all you Texas Southern Tigers fans, you can expect just a really off the wall, crazy, all over the place. I'm kidding. It's a pretty good preview. I had a great conversation with Coach McKinney yesterday.
When I went to leave the office yesterday, I had been staring at my computer at Premiere for so long. I looked up and Ish kind of looked at me like, "Are you?" And I was like, I gotta go home and go for a walk or so. I was like, my eyes cannot physically take, because I bend over and I stare so hard. It's like when I finally look out at the light of day, it's like I gotta walk.
So
I gotta get out of here.
So you presently do not do design for the magazine.
No.
Next year we're gonna work you in.
Yeah.
But Ishmael and I lay out almost all of the high school pages, and let me tell you, because this is a prime laying out season. I dream about capsules. Like I dream about.
I dream about graphics.
About graphics.
Yep. I hardcore, which is funny. You see the Twitter got the no crop thing.
I heard about that.
My first thing was, oh sweet, I can make more vertical graphics. I dream about graphics.
You have an illness.
I've dreamt about you getting really upset with me about graphics before. I've told you that. It's not good. Or Pix video stuff. State rolls around.
I'm your Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. You were the reason I don't sleep at night.
All right. Hit the Let's go! Free money!
How to sing blue baby. Shot glass in your hand.
Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Thunderdome here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show online. My name is Greg Tepper. I am the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at texasfootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. So that's Spotify, Apple, Google Play. Are there other places? Stitcher? We're on Stitcher.
I use Apple, so I don't venture
Apple
out.
too.
Yeah.
Well,
I like Apple because it lets you know when there's the new podcast.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. By the way, I have to drive for 6 hours or 12 hours this weekend. So if you have any podcast recommendations, drop them in.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sitting over there at the helm today celebrating Hawaiian Shirt Friday. She is the Dutch of the Dorks. She's Ashley Pickle. Hello, Ashley.
Aloha. Yeah.
Today, is Friday, May 7th, 2021, 202 days till Thanksgiving. Episode 1161, 1161. This is the George Wright episode. On today's show, my friends, we are going to hear from Marc Ramirez of the Wellington Skyrockets, a member of the Whataburger super team. We will hear what he has to say about that tremendous honor from our friends at Whataburger in the back half of the show. It is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. We've got a very special Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday coming up here. But if you have questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, you can get to us on Facebook comments, or you can text us, 972-532-6665. We will answer your questions here at the back half of the show, plus a very special segment. So it's coming up here at the back half of the show. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. Aaron Arbuckle, Tony Blaylock, Ruben Rios, and Rob Hadaway. And we got to give a special shout out because Aaron Arbuckle said that his 7-year-old daughter is watching for the first time today. So welcome, little Arbuckle. He said that she loves pickles, so he told her my name. But welcome. We love little girls watching the show. How cool is that?
Yes, welcome watching the show, although I question your taste in hosts. But that's fine. No, welcome. Welcome in. Okay. The Whataburger Super Team honors some of the best and brightest high school football players from across the state. And we have been catching up with a number of the honorees. One of them is the athlete for Wellington, played a lot of running back, played a lot of linebacker, one of the most dominant players at the 2A level, Wellington's Marc Ramirez. And our own Mallory Hartley caught up with him and his coach. Here is our conversation with Wellington utility player Marc Ramirez, part of the 2020 Whataburger Super Team here on Texas Football Today.
For the third consecutive year, Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Whataburger are proud to honor the best and the brightest stars in Texas high school football through the Whataburger Super Team. For the 2020 season, Texas high school football fans across the state nominated more than 5,000 players, resulting in more than 300,000 ballots on texasfootball.com. And out of all of those, 40 outstanding athletes rose to the top to be named with this unique honor. And joining us today, we have the head coach of the Wellington Skyrockets, Coach Greg Profit, our Whataburger Super Team winner, Mr. Marc Ramirez, and of course, Mr. Jeff Altman, our Whataburger representative. And guys, before we get started, thank you so much for being here and celebrating Marc in this awesome, prestigious award. So without further ado, Marc, we'll go ahead and get started with you. What was your initial reaction, Marc, when you heard that your name was announced as one of the award recipients?
I mean, I was pretty surprised. I really didn't know what the Whataburger Super Team was, but I mean, my coach ended up telling me how it worked, and I was pretty proud of it. I mean, it was a nice reward to accomplish.
Absolutely, and kind of going off of that, what does it mean to you to be named as a 2020 Whataburger Super Team player?
It means a lot because I'm over here with a lot of like really skilled athletes on this Whataburger Super Team. So I mean, it means a lot to me.
That's awesome. And Coach Profit, we're going to throw it over to you. How special was it for you to see, Marc claim a spot on the Whataburger Super Team?
It was pretty special. I know that's a huge accomplishment. You can look at the names on that list, and usually you don't see a lot of Class 2A players on that list, maybe one or two a year. Sometimes there's not any. Up here in the Texas Panhandle, a Class 2A school, an enrollment of 140 kids in our high school, for Marc to be named on that team was a big accomplishment for him, but not only him, but for our team, because obviously, he'll be the first one to tell you that he wouldn't be on that team without those dudes around him. And so, it's a big accomplishment for all of us.
Absolutely. And kind of staying on that same topic, what kind of an impact does Marc receiving this award have really on your entire program as a whole?
It's one of those deals, like you scan that list, and to me, like, you see Wellington, and a lot of people, probably all those other players on that list, probably don't even know what Wellington is, or the classification, because it is a lot of big school kids. But to me, that's kind of special that that Wellington's on that list with Whataburger and all those the very talented kids across the state of Texas. And so for Marc to be on that list and Wellington to be on that list as well is really big for our football program, our town, and our community.
And Mr. Altman, we're going to throw it over to you. You know, what does it mean for Whataburger to be able to show support in their local Texas high school football teams?
Well, it means quite a bit to us. You know, Whataburger is kind of the fabric, part of the fabric of the state of Texas, and I would say high school football is as well. So those two things go hand in hand. And when you're talking about, you know, recognizing the top 40 players in a state that has so much talent, it's quite an honor. And we congratulate Marc and Coach for doing great things up there in the Panhandle.
And how much of a success has the super team partnership with Dave Campbell's Texas football actually been?
You know, it's been great. You know, this is our third year to partner with Dave Campbell's. And I think one thing, you know, that we try to do is give back to the communities, in any shape or form. And high school athletics is one way to do that. And Coach mentioned, you know, you've got to have good teammates. And, you know, that's important to us as well as teamwork. So, you know, this is just a good opportunity for us to continue what we've been doing since our founder, you know, opened the first Whataburger in Corpus Christi in 1950. I did a little homework because I wasn't sure where Wellington was. And I saw that, you know, you guys are probably an hour or longer from Amarillo. So I'm assuming that's where you got to go get your Whataburgers from.
Absolutely, that's correct. And in fact, we were at, you know, regional track, tennis, golf, all those things last week. And Whataburger is one of the stops we made. So we, you know, appreciate Whataburger and the support they have for Texas high school athletics and Texas high school football in general. And I would be lying if I didn't say that I didn't have one of those table signs from Whataburger. Doesn't everybody have one of those?
That's a tradition too.
Absolutely. And kind of going off of that, you know, if you don't know who the Wellington Skyrockets are, you probably should, because I mean, going 13-1 on the season last year, what a run you guys had, Coach. So, you know, kind of going off that, you know, what can we expect to see from your guys, Coach Profit, going into this 2021 season?
We return a lot of kids. We're blessed with that for next year. A lot of starters back, including this guy sitting beside me. But those guys up front that make us go, we have 4 of our 5 offensive linemen back. So that's a good problem to have. These guys have really been in the weight room and, you know, working on being bigger, faster, stronger for the next football season. And, you know, hopefully we'll have another successful run next year and cap off a great senior year for Marc and a lot of good seniors in next year's senior class, but more importantly, really continue the tradition of Wellington Skyrocket football.
And Marc, kind of going off of what Coach Profit said, man, you're going to be a senior this year. You're coming up on your last year of high school. You know, what are you excited about for your senior year, you know, playing in your last high school football season? What can we expect from you?
I'm excited to go and into the season with like my classmates that I grew up with ever since elementary. I've been here with these guys and I'm just excited to get the season rolling. I mean, I've been waiting for this. I mean, senior year with the guys. I mean, I love football and that's the plan. Just go out there and do our thing.
Mr. Altman, over to you.
You call me
What does
Coach.
Whataburger really hope to accomplish by presenting hardworking student athletes this award?
Well, you know, we know that this is just hopefully providing a foundation for them to grow and be successful, not just on the field, but off the field. You know, this is an honor that they'll have and be able to share for the rest of their lives, you know, and they worked hard to do that. And, you know, if they're hardworking kids that can get to this level in athletics, then, you know, I'm pretty sure that they're hardworking kids that can do great things off the field, wherever they decide to, you know, to continue their future.
And of course, we can't go through a whole Whataburger presentation without talking about our go-to favorite Whataburger orders. So, Coach Profit, you knew it was coming. What is your go-to Whataburger order?
Well, we had this discussion in the coach's office this morning, actually, after we lifted weights this morning. I kind of asked everybody that question. I'd probably go with the water chicken sandwich, probably grilled, but the key ingredient to that, it would be the ketchup that you're going to put on the chicken sandwich after you get the chicken sandwich. So that's my go-to. Marc's is a little different.
Marc, let's hear it. Let's hear your go-to Whataburger order while you're there. Put you on the spot.
My go-to is the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich. I mean, I love that thing. The barbecue makes it just tops it off just right. I like it.
So do you go there? Is that your go-to place to go to after Friday night games?
I mean, it feels closer. I don't really. It's a long drive, but when I'm in Amarillo, I usually go to Whataburger. That's one of my go-to spots actually.
Absolutely. And Mr. Allman, I got to ask you too. What's your go-to Whataburger order?
My gosh, there's so many of them. I could break it down. How much time do we have?
Hey, all the time that you need.
I've kind of settled into the double meat, double cheese junior. I like that one. It's a good size burger. But then I always size the fries,
Absolutely.
and I also have to get like a good cold like Dr. Pepper to go with it. So or a Dr. Pepper shake. Like that's kind of my go-to right there.
Yeah, the shakes are good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't go to Whataburger without getting a shake or a Dr. Pepper of some kind. But well, Marc, we're going to go ahead and leave the last question up to you. Do you have any final words that you would like to say? Any final thoughts that you have for Whataburger Super Team?
I just want to thank the Whataburger Super Team and the organization that nominated me. I really appreciate it, and I just really thank you and everybody else that's in this organization.
That's awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck next year going into your senior year. That's going to be memorable, and we'll be watching you. And hopefully, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys at state.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, well, come see us. Right, we're right down the road. I'm sure in the Texas Panhandle from you.
That's right. We get up to the Amarillo area sometimes, and Altus, Oklahoma, where you're not too far from there as well. So, yeah,
that's exactly right.
Come see the Skyrockets. Definitely.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome. Can I tag along for you guys?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of Whataburger and Dave Campbell's Texas Football, congratulations again, Marc, for being named to our 2020 Whataburger Super Team. We wish you the best of luck going into this next season and to have just a great senior year. Coach Profit, we appreciate the time you carved out to help celebrate Marc and his amazing accomplishment. And Mr. Altman, thank you again for you and your team's support of the 2020, Whataburger Super Team.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There he is, Marc Ramirez, the utility back, do-it-all athlete for the Wellington Skyrockets, a member of the 2020 Whataburger Super Team. We, of course, thank our friends, partners, buddies, brosivs, homies over at Whataburger.
Fellow Texans. That's the one.
Fellow Texans. For being a proud sponsor of the Whataburger Super Team. And congratulations again to Wellington's Marc Ramirez on being named to that prestigious honor. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It's our subscription package. If you want the 2021 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands, you can become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Pickle, it's Mailbag Friday.
It sure is.
Oh, no.
And it's brought
to you
by the North Texas Honda dealers, and they want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com for more information.
Thank you, Pickle. It's Mailbag Friday. If you've got questions about high school football, college football and recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, Hawaiian shirts, all sorts of stuff, you can get to it. You can get in the Facebook comments, Twitch comments, YouTube comments, or you can text us. 972-532-6665 is where you can text us on the TFT text line. So yeah, if you've got questions, you can fire away. But first, Pickle.
Yeah.
Let's do something. We're gonna. It's a very special edition of Mailbag Friday. Let's go ahead and fire up the hotline here and see if we can connect with our very special guest.
All right, and we're going to hear it ring here.
Let's see. You're listening to live coverage of us calling our guest for Mailbag Friday. Let's see if they answer the phone. Oh, no. Come on.
Went to 3 rings.
Hi, this is Jay Tepper.
Oh.
Please leave your name and number after.
My mom didn't answer her phone. It's Mother's Day. I was going to call my mom, tell her Happy Mother's Day. And she didn't answer her phone. Do you want to try one more time?
Yeah.
Try one more time. You'll see the live coverage of us trying to get a hold of my mom live in the air. She does not know we're calling. I'm cold calling her on Texas Football Today. Use the hashtag TFToday to get involved with the program.
Hi, this
Nope.
is Jay Tepper. Please.
Nope.
That's too bad. Oh, we'll see if she calls back. That's a shame.
That is a shame.
I'm going to text her.
She probably thinks I'm a spam.
She might. That's the problem.
She doesn't have my number, so.
Mm-hmm. Let me text her. Did you just get a call from an area code number?
Yeah, I don't. Don't be saying my phone number on air.
All right.
I don't want you hooligans calling
while we try
me.
to connect with my mom. Do we have any questions here on Mailbag Friday?
We sure do. Let's start off with Aaron Arbuckle said, which college program do you believe made the most progress during the spring?
During the spring. Okay. Sam Houston?
Yeah.
No, I would say that the reports that we're getting out of TCU have been pretty promising. The reports that we're getting out from Tech have been promising, with Tyler Shaw, their quarterback, taking over over there. That's one thing. Those are programs that I've heard some good things about. I also have heard good things about Houston.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, Houston has had a pretty darn good spring as well. So, yeah.
I think you gotta. Are you ready for this?
Oh, do we have a?
Here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
You're so great. You're so sweet to call me. I'm actually going to the lake, and I was listening to the show.
Oh,
There we
so
go.
There you go. We're joined by my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Pickles here
How you
too.
doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Hello, Tep Mom.
Hi. I
I-
hope to meet you one day.
Yes.
I wanted to call and say Happy Mother's Day,
Thank you so much, Gregory.
since that's on Sunday. And so we've got you. We wanted to bring you on, and I wanted to ask you a few different questions. First and foremost, do you have you have 3 boys?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Mother's Day, like from us growing up?
From us, well, I have to admit, I don't remember. I remember you guys are always so sweet. You would buy individual gifts that maybe sometimes your dad had part of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always have flowers. But I will say one of the most special ones was 3 years ago when you let us know that you and Jim were going to have a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be grandparents.
Yes.
That was really one of the most special ones ever.
Well, and
So,
and now you're a grandma times 2.
I know.
You've got Hank and you've got Sadie.
Hank and Sadie.
Do you have a preference on being a mom versus being a grandma?
I like them both. They're awesome.
What a politically correct
I
answer.
do. Seriously. When you think back, I mean, I have to admit, I love being a mom of boys. I have to say that. I don't know if I would have been a good girl mom, but I love having a granddaughter now. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
And so one thing I always remember growing up is that you would always have flowers around. Like Dad would always have flowers for you.
Definitely.
Did that spark because of Grandma?
Yes. Yes, because your grandma was a florist.
Ah, there we go.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know. So that's one great hint that Dad took. When he was in a little bit of trouble, maybe go by the grocery store and pick up some flowers. So
Well,
Wise
he
words.
was never.
that's been passed down to me as well. Well, Mom, we just wanted to call and say Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama Tep.
Thanks, Ashley.
So
Where
you're
I can.
are you going to the lake?
I'm going to the lake. Yeah, it's kind of a long story. I'll tell you later, but yeah, I'm going down to the lake.
Okay.
I'm on 287 right
Okay.
now. So.
Great. Mom, thanks for picking up your phone. I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, and be careful driving tomorrow.
I will. Thanks, Mom.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Love you too. There she goes. My mom.
The sweetest.
Joining us for Mother's Day. And I wanted to make sure that, it would have worked better if she'd answered the phone on our first call. But that's okay. If she's driving, then that's probably a good example. She's being responsible. But yes, there you go. Wanted to make sure we shouted out all the moms out there. And one other thing, and I meant to bring this up this week, and we've got 5 minutes left in the broadcast week. I'm finally gonna bring it up. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yes.
To the teachers out there.
Teacher Appreciation Week, and yesterday was National Nurses Day.
Golly.
Wow.
We're missing. We're
off
our game.
I was going to say that's
an oversight.
Yeah.
It's a plain old oversight.
That's some pretty big Women Week right there.
Well, and I'm
stereotypically speaking.
I'm the husband of a teacher. I'm the son of a teacher. My mom was an educator. You're the daughter of a teacher.
Yes, both my parents work in
education. So we've got a great appreciation for teachers, and then of course, obviously, we deal in high school football, and high school football coaches are teachers. So a very happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all the teachers out there. You guys are awesome, and you're not paid enough. And you don't get enough respect.
No, not at all.
And yeah.
And we are here to say our part.
So
of thank
here's
you.
our internet show to say thanks. That makes up for it, right? Anyway, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. All right. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, one of them. Trish is at work right now, and she works at an elementary school, so she's got little minions running around everywhere. So that's why we're not calling Trish right now.
Yeah, I asked her. When I walked in the studio today, I said, "What's your mom doing right now?"
Which that also means Trish is off during the summer. So maybe at some point we can give Trish a cold
When's her
call.
birthday?
In February. Yeah. So. But no, we'll hit Trish with a cold call at some point. LP, I know, is watching right now. Don't tell Trish. Yes. Let's see.
You got it.
Favorite scrambled eggs ingredient addition. What do you like to put?
Avocado toast. I think I'm gonna have it for dinner. I was already thinking about this.
Okay.
I like to have. Well, I guess what he's thinking is the question is really what do you add to scrambled eggs? First of all, I just want to say, and this is a weird flex. I think I'm super good at making scrambled eggs.
Ooh, okay, and that's a good flex. That's not easy to do.
I think I'm good.
Eggs in general are underratedly hard.
The key is you gotta when they're cooking, you gotta whip it. You gotta go at it, and you really because then they get. I like them to be a little bit runny. I hate dry eggs. Yes, I'd rather they be a little bit runny.
Milk, you gotta add milk in it beforehand.
Yeah, you can add some milk.
A little dash of milk beforehand.
Makes it a little fluffier. So milk. Obviously, cheese would be great. If you've ever added everything but the bagel seasoning to it, it's really good as well.
Super good.
I think I'm gonna make avocado toast tonight for dinner.
Very nice. I also obviously if you're talking about additions to put on top of eggs, salsa. You can't go wrong with salsa on
hot
scrambled
sauce,
eggs.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I mean the great thing about living in the state of Texas is that because we have such an incredible culture, here, with Mexican influences and Latin influences and things like that, you can find eggs, you can find great breakfast tacos a lot of places.
Yep.
And so, yes, that's very, very good.
Oh, Hatch green chilies coming in from Matt Stepp.
Well, and that's another thing.
He's a big green chili guy.
That's what he is. That's one thing that I think is we should not take for granted living in the state of Texas is okay, the reason I bring this up, the fact that we have great, accessible, and in many cases fast Mexican food.
Yes.
Tex-Mex food is incredible. And the reason I bring this up, did you see this? Did you hear about this, Kev? Did you see the thing earlier this week in Orlando of the White Castle that opened?
No.
So they opened up a White Castle in Orlando, and there was
burgers.
a 4-hour line for the drive-through to go to White Castle.
I'm not saying they're bad, but they're little sliders.
But I just imagine that, like, in certain parts of America, and maybe it's because it doesn't have the same reach, but like some of the places that we take for granted here, like from a Mexican food perspective, if they were to open them up in other parts of
like
there'd be a lot. It would be the greatest thing ever. Like my cousins, for example, my cousins who live in Iowa, like their Mexican food is Taco Bell.
Yeah. So like even an on the border or like a Chewy's that like isn't like you're like we can go out down the street and find authentic street taco.
Really good Mexican food, and that's in suburbia, Texas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's like you're gonna find the hut.
We're not even talking about like the very best places in San Antonio or Houston or El Paso or things like that. You're talking about that kind of, or the Rio Grande Valley, obviously. But that is that's one thing that I think is like we should not take for granted is the amount of great breakfast tacos that are available to you at pretty much every turn here in the state of Texas. All right, what's next?
So true. Here's a football question.
Yeah.
Any notable high school transfers from one program to another that will make a big impact?
Oh, you want me to list them?
Yes.
So the biggest one that springs to mind is Bear Alexander.
Yes.
Bear Alexander, I think his first name's like Keithian.
We don't know.
Nobody calls him that.
No.
His name is Bear.
His name is Bear.
He's the defensive tackle from formerly at Denton. Ryan
I was just going to say from is
helped lead Ryan to a state championship last year. He has transferred over to Fort Worth Brewer, White Settlement Brewer, whatever you want to call it. That would be one that that really springs to mind. Other ones in the DFW Metroplex.
I got a list.
Down on the in kind of South Dallas, Faison Wilson is leaving Lancaster, going to Duncanville, big time wide receiver there.
Stephon Johnson,
yeah.
or Stephon.
And then of course there's Caleb Burton. Caleb Burton, the wide receiver from formerly of Austin Del Valley. He was injured a lot last year. He's transferring to Lake Travis. He becomes a bona fide stud #1 receiver for the Cavs. And then one thing to keep an eye on is Jacoby Robinson. Jacoby Robinson is moving from Crowley to Henderson. That's another one.
Step through this one out there too. Chris, is it Bazel from Midland Christian to Midland Legacy? So there's one out west.
Yeah, there's quite a few out there. And then another thing to keep an eye on is there's going to be some transfers from some private schools to some public schools. Specifically, like I don't know if you guys know this, but Trinity Christian Cedar Hill's shutting down. And so they obviously have some playmakers. And so that's going to be that's going to move on to they'll move on to and scatter to the winds. So that's one thing to keep an eye on there. So a few different transfers to keep an eye on. Do we have one more? Do we have an ender?
We do. Can we do two more real fast?
Two more.
This one's super quick. Ketchup on fries or ketchup on the side?
Ketchup on the side. What kind of monster pours fries, gets on your fingers? You heathens, cretins.
Okay, so that was that one. I completely agree. And then
By the way, I'm sorry.
There's
another thing, and this was a big Euro thing. You know, like over in Europe, they'll dip the fries in the mayo. Ugh. I like mayonnaise. I'm not like an anti-mayonnaise guy. Ugh.
I studied abroad over there, and I had to hunt down ranch. Ranch does not, and I finally found it the last week we were there in this little grocery store type thing, because their grocery stores are not like our grocery stores at all. They're little bitty. It looks more like a convenience store, and it was called American Ranch Sauce.
Gun to your head.
Yeah.
You have a thing of fries.
Yeah.
Good thing of fries, right?
Yeah.
You can only have ketchup or you can only have ranch.
Fries, I'm going ketchup.
Okay.
Because ketchup is consistent across the board. It's really bad ranch is not worth it.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Finally,
Josh Chappa said, Tall Boy Friday or Hawaiian Shirt Friday? Which one has a stronger presence? I would say nationally, for me, I mean, por qué no los dos?
Yeah.
So I have one if you could have both.
I agree.
But I would say nationally known, I would agree that probably Tall Boy Friday. Well, at least in the state of Texas, I would say Tall Boy Friday probably is more widely known.
I would say so.
But
here,
we here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football are doing our darndest to make sure that Hawaiian Shirt Friday ends up on the same pedestal as Tall Boy Friday.
We don't do enough drinking on the show.
I don't see why that's not a normal
We gotta-
Friday thing.
I have the
Beer cart Friday.
The friend I went to.
There's a lack of fun in this office.
The friend I went to coffee with this morning. She works in a like a marketing agency.
Uh-huh.
And all these marketing agencies have like they're all super hip and they have like beanbags everywhere and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And she told me, and this was pre-pandemic, but like every day they're just going around with booze. Every day they're going around with booze.
You know
we
how
are
much-
so sober here in this office. It's the worst. I hate it.
You know how much the morale would boost with just, a simple beer every now and then.
I know.
Beer Fridays. Come on. I'm in a Hawaiian shirts for darn sake. I'm a big fat party animal. And you know what there's a lack of? Beer.
It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks to my mom for joining us and being our guest. Happy Mother's Day.
Did you like the Tepper in command on the lower third?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Just stating the facts here.
Yes. Continue.
That's going to do it. I did all that. For Ashley Pickles, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.